Bonjour, Nadinaway Maganek, Makadebini Sainshnakas, Migase Dodem, Sagging Ndunji. I said hello, this is Jaime, and I did introduce myself in the Ojibwe language. The name that the spirits know me by is Black Thunderbird. I am with the Eagle Clan, and my family is from Sagging First Nation. So in this video today, I will cite two different things. I have some music playing in the background, relaxing piano music. I will share the link in the description of the video. I do not own the rights to this video, it's just streaming off of YouTube. The book that I'll be reading to you today is called Stolen Words. It's written by Melanie Florence, illustrated by Gabriel Grimard, and it's published by Second Story Press. I chose this particular book because it's a beautiful example of the way that children ask questions and how adults do their best to tell the honest truth about stuff, even when it's difficult. There are some Cree words in this book, and I did my very best to learn them. And if I don't pronounce them right, please reach out and help me learn so that I can do it better next time. We're coming up on I Love to Read month, which is February, and I like doing this kind of stuff because it reminds me of the time that I spent with my son when he was a young child. I would read stories to him, and language is so important. It has such an effect on us that until you have it taken away, you don't necessarily understand. But when you're learning it, it's very interesting, because sometimes you can hear a word in a sentence, but you'll understand what that word means because of what the sentence was. Sometimes you'll be reading a book and you'll come across a word that you don't know exactly what the word means, but you can gather an understanding by how that word was used in the sentence and what they were talking about. So when you're reading, there's lots of decoding and lots of trying to figure out or understand what it is that you're reading, and sometimes that takes away from the story. So I remember my son telling me that he would see certain words and he was like, I never thought it was said that way. I don't think I've ever heard that word out loud. So that was something nice that we were able to share together a lot of the times. There was words that he would hear the way I said it, and it would like be a light bulb, and he would go, oh, that's how you say that word, or I didn't think that's what that word meant. So there was new understandings that happened by having stories read to them. But mostly I want to read this story to you today because it reminds me of just snuggling up with my boy for story time. So we'll start with a smudge, because that is how I want to clear things I've been carrying from all day today, so that I can try and share this story in a good, kind way. And for you, okay. So without further ado, I hope that you take a few minutes to sit and be comfy and just hear a storybook. So again, this book is called Stolen Words. She came home from school today, skipping and dancing, humming a song under her breath, clutching a dream catcher she had made from odds and ends, bits of string, plastic beads, and brightly colored feathers. Her glossy braids danced against her shoulders, swaying with her, black as a raven's wing. Grandpa, she asked, clutching his hand, spinning under his arm before dropping it again. How do you say grandfather in Cree? He stopped breathing for a moment, a lifetime to a 7-year-old. He looked down at her sadly. I don't remember, he answered. I lost my words a long time ago. A frown clouded her face. How do you lose words, Grandpa? She asked. They took them away, he answered. She thought for a moment. Where did they take them, she asked. Where they took all of us, he said. Away from home. Away from laughter and soft words. Away from our mothers who cried for us. She reached for his gnarled hand. Who took you away, Grandpa? She asked quietly. Men and women dressed in black, talking to us with words we did not know, he answered. They reached home and sat on the stairs together. Where did they take you, Grandpa? She asked. Away to a school that was cold and lonely, where angry white faces raised their voices and their hands when we used our words, he answered. They took our words and locked them away, punished us until we forgot them, until we sounded like them. Harsh, sharp words. So different from the sound of our beautiful ones. She touched his withered face, tried to wipe the sadness away with her soft hands. She looked down at her lap and handed him the dream catcher she had made for her room. You take this, Grandpa, she said. Maybe it will help you find your words again. He smiled at her, his granddaughter, and touched her innocent face, a face that had never known hard words or raised hands. He smiled and kissed her head. The next day, she skipped out of school again, smiling widely at her grandfather. She stopped in front of him and took a deep breath. Tanzi nimishum, she said, and his eyes widened. She smiled brighter than the sun. I found your words, Grandpa, she said. She pulled a tattered, well-worn paperback out of her book bag. Introduction to Cree, it said. My teacher helped me find this for you at the library. He reached for it, his hands shaking, opened it, feeling the soft, much-loved pages under his fingers. Nusim, he whispered, granddaughter. The word felt familiar in his mouth. It felt like his home, his mother. He turned the pages of the book carefully. Musinwingan, book. He turned another, word after word. Bikisquayin, language. His words. Pages and pages of them. He looked at his granddaughter, his Nusim. Thank you. Tin ki, he said. Will you read to me, she asked, taking his hand in hers and leading him home. Will you teach me your words? His heart danced as he nodded, holding the book against his chest. At the end of the storybook, there's an English translation and pronunciation of the Cree words found in the story. And it's really interesting when you take the time to learn a little bit about the way that the Cree or the Ojibwe language, the way that we use words. A word actually refers to It's almost like a phrase, a single word in itself. It describes many different things. Even if you looked up the meaning of the word Ojibwe, the way that the word breaks down, it means more than just a single word. And that's part of the beauty of the language itself. It also makes it incredibly challenging to learn sometimes, but I'm sure with more practice and more persistence, the more I practice, the better I'll get at it. So that's the story that I wanted to share with you today. So I hope you enjoyed and took a few minutes to relax. If you have any questions or comments that you would like to share, please go ahead and comment below. Have a beautiful day. See you again.